should be all right now. So I do apologize for that, but yeah, we're back. I was saying, you all are currently sitting in an upscale coffee shop, boutique-like building. And I leave the story to you all. How would you like to proceed for the rest of the evening?
Yeah, we left off. But
did somebody call Chiharu and get them here?
He's been with us this whole time.
Yes, Chiharu.
I just looked behind me.
All.
Jesus,
forgot. Chiharu is so quiet. I forget that he's here sometimes.
Oh, sometimes it's a gift. Sometimes it's a curse.
So, welcome to the conversation, Chiharu. What's your opinion on going back and fucking shit up?
Do we need to have it done within a particular time?
I'd prefer sooner rather than later.
Of course. The plans, do we have like a plan for the location? Like a layout of where things may be?
Generally speaking, we can relate what we saw while we were inside. I would need to double check with Elias if he got a blueprint. Did I hear, Ari, that Elias was getting a...
Elias wanted to get one.
Oh, but yeah, but you blew up
now.
your computer, yeah, on purpose.
Yeah, he's like...
Wait, what's up with your laptop?
Like 2 episodes ago, yeah.
I completely fried it. They were hacking me, and I didn't think we wanted another robot to show up.
I remember making a comment. The one time I see Elias doing any hacking, it goes completely to shit, and I now doubt his abilities. And
it's like Elias must have learned
hacking one time. We all almost die.
Well, how was I supposed to know they were watching the gun registry of all things? I feel like the FBI may be gun registry for California, weirdly specific.
You do not have a replacement by chance?
I'm an archivist. We don't make that much money.
Do we need to go to the nearest Best Buy?
Preferably, yes, but I could always just pop back to the Chantry and see what I could find.
From here?
Yes, I have. Well, not from here, but I do have that little app thing on my phone. Remember when we got all of our little toys?
I know it Bamps is back there, but I don't know if it's a. I think it was my understanding it was a one-time use.
Mm-hmm.
Pull in case of emergencies kind of situation. Yeah.
Really don't know if they have a door around here anyhow. Yes, the local Best Buy will be fine. I'm mad at myself, actually.
All right, so if we can get you equipped and get the blueprints, then could we do this?
For me, I just wish for us to be as fully prepared as possible. As from my awareness, we are dealing with a foe that is normally outside of our area of expertise. And I would do my hardest to make sure you all are safe. But even I have my limits. And I don't know what I'm fully dealing with this group. But if you wish to go tonight, as long as we could prepare ourselves as best as possible, I am with you on that endeavor.
Something that I should have done between sessions. This is a question for the storyteller. I know I've been experimenting with this staff that enhances my abilities. Do I know how? I mean, how far have I taken it in my?
You are aware that the staff is a very powerful wonder. You have not had the time to fully tap into what abilities it could grant you, but it is. You can tell from looking at it that it is quite powerful. And very negatively aligned, we'll say.
I'm okay with that bit. So it's a wild card.
Mhm.
Well, Elias, I guess you stated you will need assistance for purchasing the laptop. Or
I mean, I could probably swing it.
Do you need a loan, Elias?
No, I do not
Payday
need a
loan.
loan. I could buy a laptop. They're not that expensive.
Well, a good
Not
one.
buying a MacBook. You know what? At the rate that I'm frying them, I don't really need anything good, but we're not going with like a Chromebook.
I have a question for you. Does your magic expand based on the prowess of the technology you're
The
using?
available resources of said
Mm.
laptop.
So if you were using, say, a I'm not sure what they're referred to, but those big old, where there are like tons of computers next to one another. So he's referring to a mainframe, but those big computers that are next to one another, that are large and has a lot of processing power. Does that increase your magical prowess?
Not really.
Oh,
Does it help your technical prowess?
I thought you were just talking about Internet Cafe.
I'm not speaking to you for the rest of the night. No, my talents require the use of technology. I can't do as you guys do. I have to use technology.
but a very powerful computer does not improve your talents in per se. It's more
No.
interesting.
Have you tried? I'm just saying, if I'm not proficient necessarily with firearms, but if I shot someone with a pistol, or I used Augustus and shot someone, which I've done recently, it does a significant amount more damage. Just sometimes it's all about the right tools, you know.
It's really weird. Does anyone else hear the sound of someone talking?
Logic and reason, yes.
I only ask because I was hoping that perhaps if your magical prowess was tied to a powerful unit versus something portable like a laptop, maybe it would help boost and prevent the technocracy from finding us. But if it's not dependent on that, then I guess Best Buy is the best route.
They're pretty good about finding almost anybody at this point. Although it could work if I got some enhancements. I just really don't want anybody to put any metal in my face.
The enhancement goes in your face.
Face, body, it all depends. Some of them are able to do all this virtual stuff with like nanomachines in their bodies. I really don't want to do that. I'm not keen on that. That's some Net Explorer stuff.
We should talk more about this, especially if we're planning or dealing with the technocracy in the future, because that is a bit outside of my purview, and so it'd be great to know our enemy.
Oh yes, my tradition had the well, my tradition came from them, so there's a lot of animosity.
I can imagine. I'm presuming they view you as a traitor.
Well, you know, they view everybody as such.
What is the likelihood that we would run into this group while dealing with the vampires?
Oof, I don't know. I mean, they followed us. They found us. If we could get them there, we could just let them handle the entire problem, grab that locket, and skittle.
Are you aware of how their viewpoint is toward vampires? Perhaps the enemy of our enemy is our friend.
Oh no! The enemy of the enemy is everybody's enemy. This is not a. I'd rather make friends with the vampire.
Giotto literally looks surprised about that. Very few times his eyebrows raises in expression, but that took him by surprise. He states, Very well. I guess we have to still rely this entirely on us.
Yes, unfortunately. Well, let me see if I can find the nearest Best Buy, grab a cheap laptop, and see if I can't get the schematics for that place.
I'd love to learn more about the technocracy when we have a chance to kick back and share stories, Elias.
Not a problem.
Sounds fascinating.
I'll introduce you to some of the adepts at headquarters. They are particularly loving to chat about everything. Why I stay off the digital web as much as I do. Never know when you're gonna run into them.
Yeah, loose lips sink ships and all that stuff.
And firewalls and everything else. Righto, I'll be right back. I'm gonna pull up my phone, find the nearest Best Buy, and go find me a decently cheap laptop.
Not bad, not good, just somewhere in the,
Mediocre.
yeah.
Mediocre.
I mean, if you
It's,
find a good
so-so.
sale, that'd be ideal. Yeah.
You are able to find an appropriate store, and are able to complete your purchases without not really any problems. You are able to find a laptop that will be functional, not ideal, but functional. If there was anything specific you wish to do besides purchasing a laptop, you can let me know.
No, just a laptop.
All right, and you are able to do so without issue.
All right, let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna try and get it all set up while we're at the coffee shop and see if I can't find those blueprints for the house.
Chiharu also looks over, if you don't mind, he kind of looks over your shoulder, Elias, to fully absorb your ability for schematics, and I'm presuming using correspondence to try to find this content, correct?
Let me double check. I actually do think I have something that will actually help me find stuff.
There's usually
Yeah.
correspondence. I think correspondence too. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I do.
Have you
Yeah,
got-
I have it. I have a rote called Hacker's Glance. I can analyze massive amounts of data to increase the odds that I will find what I'm looking for.
Okay. So I assume you wish to do this using your magical ability to augment your mental ability. Make me an RTA roll. This will be considered. This will be considered a first sphere effect, so difficulty would be 4.
Just one success. These
Okay,
types are
make
new.
me an intelligence and technology roll, a difficulty 5.
Looking at a V5 sheet earlier, so technology got moved on the other side.
It's only vampires.
5 successes.
Okay. You're able to find a floor plan from the original construction of the building. You can see that the building itself is 3 floors and then an attic, which isn't quite as big as a floor, but it is a bit bigger than a standard sized room. You can see that the bottom floor, the basement floor, is designed to be mostly stone. It's designed to be more of an old fallout shelter and kind of that ancient design, we'll say. Other than that, from what you're seeing, the floor plans seem to be identical to what you saw when you were inside. There is a main meeting floor. There is a floor above that with multiple small rooms. You aren't sure if the floor plans are accurate based on what the size of those individual rooms are, since it's older than it's about 5 decades older than what you've experienced. But you think the general layout is the same, which means there is a basement level a main meeting level with for the few rooms on either side of the building. Then there is an upper level with additional rooms, 6 rooms on each side, connected by a single long hallway. And then above that, there seems to be a attic of some sort.
He'll kind of like turn it around for everybody else. They're 5 decades old, but that's the only ones I could find on file. If they've done any work to it, it's probably not anything legal.
I was about to say, we couldn't find anything newer, and they made changes. It's not permitted. Maybe that's our way in. We'll turn them into the government.
That's
We'll
why
call
I
the
brought up,
inspector.
that's why I brought up
they,
the technocracy. If they look up gun permits, perhaps they could look up ability permits as well, and send some robots out their way. But I digress.
it would be lovely if they would just send all the robots down there so that we could just get the locket back.
Is it possible to be able to detect where the locket may be through in these floor plans?
Well, he was wearing it.
I have a suspicion he's probably always wearing it. So without detecting the locket, if we could detect where he was, we can assume the locket's with him.
Also, when we were in there, I didn't see any security, but I have a feeling he's got some invisible friends watching over the place.
I'm sorry, invisible what now?
Ghosts. He's probably got ghosts watching the place.
Oh,
And I can't see them, so
And to clarify, what is the reservation of doing this in the morning time where he's asleep and vulnerable?
Oh, yeah, about that. We met him in the middle of the day. And when I sensed his presence, and it was not like any. He's not dead, but he's not alive. It's a weird.
In the middle of the day.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't come outside, and it wasn't exactly bright inside, but it's.
Well,
I forgot, I did ask the question last game. Were the curtains drawn, but
They were
not blackout curtains?
they were not blackout, but they were that thick kind of old version of curtains. Like they weren't blackout in design, but they were definitely thick enough that they were closer to like blankets than actual curtains.
But was there light coming in from the windows?
Very little.
Okay.
and we're certain that this was the individual and not a decoy of sorts, of body double or.
I mean, I'm not certain of anything, but we were looking for the locket, and that seems like an important item, and I don't know why they would give that to a doppelganger.
I'm just confused how a vampire could be able to be awake during the day. Don't they sleep during the day and awaken at night?
I would assume. I'm not sure his presence was nothing like I've ever sensed before.
Well, I guess if daylight does not give us much abilities, I mean, it does give us the option of perhaps dragging him out if worse came to worse. I'm assuming he would still take damage by the sun like any other vampire. But
We're also assuming he is a vampire. I mean, granted, he's probably a vampire, but the only one we know who for sure is a vampire is the one we saw on Elias's screen
that's true.
at the graveyard.
So perhaps he is not a vampire, which if that's the case, I am not certain what we're dealing with.
I'm assuming from my sensing him, I know he's not human, but I don't know what he is, right?
You do not think he is human. That's for sure.
Yes, this is going to be very difficult. We're going into this battle with very little pieces of information. Well, I guess we'll do what we can. Does anyone need to prepare?
So it's too bad we can't source any information from, or maybe separate the people who work there, maybe some of the weaker links to inquire about what we might want to know.
How, this is a question for Ree again. How, the property was pretty large and it had we took a walk up to it, but it's still on a street, right? Were there buildings on the other side of the street that overlooked the house or the property?
No, it was a very large estate. You had to go down a kind of side path to get up to a gate, and then that area itself was grassland. Once you get to the property, there are no immediate buildings nearby. You have to, in order to get to the building where you all are, you have to walk down a road and then walk for a bit to get back into kind of a economic area.
Well, I mean, how far are we talking? I mean,
Walking, it took you about 15-ish minutes. You think if you sprinted, you could probably get away from it in maybe 6 or 7. But it's a decent walk.
that's a pretty long driveway. Yeah, or path. Okay. I was just, if a guy happened to have a sniper rifle and there was a building nearby, kind of,
With enough of a range, it might be possible, but your difficulty would be to find a spot where nobody would notice you.
And Phineas is a long range weapon, but it is not quiet as far as I know. There's not a silencer on that bad boy.
Yeah, you need to have a nice clear shot, and then you need to have somebody to probably bring the target into a appropriate location, because I don't know how much the guy gets outside if he's a vampire. Even at night, probably stays indoors. No reason to go outside unless has a very specific reason, which is not involved doing a lot of funerals at night, I believe. Also, he's probably not even conducting the funerals, right? Because he's just a guy who's handling the running of the place, or at least that's the facade.
Elias, are you aware if there are any cameras in the location? Something to monitor them?
I didn't see any.
I didn't see any either, on the outside or the inside.
Which is a bonus in our favor, because there's no cameras to capture our attention. But bad news is I can't use them to monitor anything.
I see.
And drones are expensive, and I'm not going to do that.
I was thinking about that, but I was presuming if I had thought about that, you definitely would have thought about that, and there would have been a reason why you did not purchase one at Best Buy. So I left that alone.
They're also like the battery life's not all that good on it, and I'd hate to be in the middle of a surveillance and it just goes.
All right. In that case, only thing I ask last before we go is how each one of us, I know we all have different strengths. What are we wishing to do? I'm presuming Eric would like to eliminate this individual with Augustus, so I'm presuming he's going to be going in. I think the term is called guns blazing.
I actually do not have Augustus with me.
Ooh.
I left him at the hotel.
I see.
Also, I don't know that Augustus would be the best choice for a full frontal guns blazing assault. It's not really the most mobile item.
It's not really that type of gun. It's more of a sit and wait for your target to arrive kind of gun.
I assume the flamethrower side was the portion that may be beneficial.
That's a great point.
That is a good point. I don't think we've seen the flamethrower side. I've heard stories. I've just never seen it in action.
We'll call that plan C or D. Well, you just burn down the whole estate, and then once everyone's dead, just go pick up the locket.
Well, I imagine vampires aren't, very fond of fire either. At least.
I like where this is going. Yeah.
And
No innocent people at all. No innocent people.
just
Burn down the estate.
a random question. What are we doing about all of his security guards?
I mean, could light them
Maybe.
on fire too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not categorizing them in the innocent category. They're bad.
I'm
Those are villain categories. Yeah.
not
that's okay.
discriminatory here. We'll kill all of them. Although they may be innocent, right? They may have no idea, or they could all be, I don't know, in cahoots, as it were.
That is my only concern. Is I don't want to push towards individuals to be guilty by association if they have no idea of what this individual may be. Perhaps
They know Chaharu. The guy that I spoke with has been working there for a couple of years. Working there for a couple of years. You know.
I could see that.
I feel like there's a famous Russian saying I heard once. How did it go? If he dies, he dies.
I see. And Oliver, would you be preferring to be up close as well, since we most likely will be dealing with resistance, or are you planning on performing a different plan of attack?
I am not a boxer. I am also not a sniper. I am a talker. I mean, I would probably like to pick up some of these interesting combat related skills. It's just, who has the time? It's so many books to read, so many other tasks to attend to. But I'll be here to support my friend Eric in however ways we can.
Thank you, Oliver. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, he still has you still have that little pick me up that I gave you from last time. I'm sure it'll come in handy this time. Should you need it.
The healing potion.
Probably won't.
Oh, the healing potion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought he was talking about like drugs or something. Little picture.
I mean,
I was like, I don't remember receiving that,
too.
but
yeah,
I'll add that to my inventory.
And Elias, I presuming you're deciding to stay further back and monitor from a distance.
Completely comfortable with monitoring from a distance. If we could get like
but there's no technology or cameras, so we can't really monitor from a distance.
I wonder if one of them has a smartphone.
You could do, Elias. We could set up a post to command control. I think that sounds like a great idea.
And if I could see,
seeing is we could get some cameras up to like watch. I mean,
I really dislike vampires.
Yeah, I had a feeling this would not be easy.
Well, if I could get one of their phones and I could tap into it, I could then possibly hear what is going on. Is it kind of like a, like turn on the speaker? But it's not easy, and I don't know any of their names or anything. It's hard to look up information.
And if we were to obtain a phone, probably we would have obtained the phone by eliminating the security guard that we received the phone from. So you wouldn't really hear much information besides grunt noises and the eventual demise of the vampires we killed.
Yes.
I mean, that would be best case scenario.
Yes. Very well. I would just try to see what our game plan would be before we enter the facility. So it seems like Eric and I would be approaching in close combat, and you two will be staying from a distance and providing support where you can.
Yes.
All right. Eric, just to inform you, when we approach the location, I will be invisible, so you will not see me. but I will be around.
But you'll be there though, right?
Yes,
You'll be there.
indeed, I will.
I promise I'll be there in spirit. I mean, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Indeed, I will. Well, is there any other questions before we attempt this rescue mission?
I'm so glad you guys are all down, but I'm suddenly regretting this decision. But yeah, let's do it.
Well, I mean, if you're having second thoughts, Eric, it's okay to reevaluate. I mean, it doesn't have to be done in like you can do more preparation.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure we're fine.
All right, so I guess we make our way. On the way to the trip, of course, I do a couple things. I go ahead and use my essence, my key, to boost up my physical capabilities. And then when we get there, it's probably when I'll turn invisible. But at least on the ride there, that's where I will be boosting my physical traits.
Okay, roll me your art tab. The difficulty will be 6.
All right. Nice. 3 successes.
Okay. The journey is not going to take an hour, so you will not be able to turn this into a ritual unless you all decide to wait a longer period of time, which means that you have 3 successes to distribute between attribute improvements and duration. And you will need at least 2 successes for it to be boosted for an entire scene, which for the moment is what we are doing.
I see. Well, in that case, they would inform Eric that he probably would like to wait a little bit longer for a ritual, therefore he could fully bring himself up to the necessary capabilities to give himself the maximum chance of success.
Okay, how many dots do you have in stamina?
Right now, 3.
All right. And how many rolls would you like to make? Each roll will take a total of an hour of time.
Oh. What time is it right now?
We'll say you're getting about 9:50, 10 p.m. right in that window.
So let's see. Maybe would 2 hours be okay with everyone?
Yes. If when I was doing my sensing last episode, did I also sense the guards?
Yes, your aura sight was able to determine that the guards do seem to be alive to you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then if they have to take normal shifts, night might be better anyways.
Okay. Yeah. So about 2 hours.
All right. Make me your additional rolls.
Okay. More. All right. 2 more successes for that one. And then nice. 3 more successes. So 3, 6, 3, 6, 8. There we go. So you said I can do 2 for a scene, right? I will need
2 successes to make the effect to last for at least the scene. More can actually make it last longer than that. And then the other successes would go to attribute changes.
All right, so I'll use 2, so that means I'm making a scene. So I have 6 left over. Perfect. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put the last one in perception. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. And as long as your attributes do not go above 5, it is a coincidental effect.
Yes.
All right. So Chiharu is taking a few hours to do this. What about the other 3? Are there anything you all wish to attempt to accomplish with these few hours?
Well, we have some time.
Yeah.
Since we have some time, I could work on. They have healing potions. Could work on something else. Trying to think.
If we have the time, I'll go pick up Augustus Phineas.
You can do that.
Okay, yeah. Make him some, I guess, items to use for sensing weakness. Perhaps something quick and easy, still something like potion like whatever, right? That'll be the delivery mechanism. But
Okay.
a couple. But yeah, using, or because I know you can sense weakness with entropy. Like entropy, like tier 1 is good for that, among other things.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any way to make it more potent, though.
With what you have, no.
No. Okay. That's fair.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I will say you will lose an hour of time to gain the materials you would need to do this, since you all are currently sitting in a car.
Sure.
You do not carry alchemy equipment around with you in vehicles generally. So the difficulty for this effect, I will say, I will let it be difficulty 4.
Okay. What do you want me to roll for that?
You show your art.
Just art. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not where it is. It's up here.
Okay.
Oh, it always scrolls to the top. 2 successes. Okay.
All right. You have 2 successes to distribute between duration of effect and potency of the effect. You do have another hour, so you could choose to keep rolling based on how many dots of stamina you have.
Step 1, though. So we'll go with that. 1's fine. It doesn't need to be a super long lasting effect. It just needs to be long enough.
All right. It will then the alchemical creation you have done. You have enough for 1 delivery, 1 use. What we'll say, and it will provide a -1 to an attack roll, and it will last for a round.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. No, I guess it's better than nothing. We're gonna have to get a little more stamina here.
All right. Anything else? All right.
So it provides -1 to an attack roll.
-1 to the difficulty.
Oh, okay.
Attack roll.
Gotcha. Oh. All right.
With that, you all spend a few hours to finish your preparations. Everything seemed to have gone without an issue. And I leave things to you all. What do you do next?
Eric,
There's
either
no one
you
in the
or
car
Chaharu.
besides us, right? Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just gonna hand off the item because I'm not gonna use it.
What's the item?
It's just a small vial of something that I was making some meth in the back of the car.
Oh, is this the pick me up that you were talking about earlier?
Not so much as a pick me up. It might make it a little easier to find the right spot on your foe, but only very briefly. It doesn't have it doesn't last very long. It burns out quickly.
I'll keep that in mind.
But
I'll save it for when the time is right.
Yeah, it's a special occasion type of thing.
Elias says I should have asked this before, but would you happen to have any earpieces for communication?
Back to Best Buy.
Oh, yes, we should be able to get some from Best Buy, I could then tap in and ensure you all can hear me.
Yes. Otherwise, I was like, there's no way for us to communicate among one another if we don't have a way.
Ooh, could we get them like body cams or something with like wireless transmission?
I don't think that's something readily available at Best Buy.
I mean, it could be a little camera. It doesn't have to be specifically made to be a body cam. It could just be like a little camera you can pick up.
Get a couple of GoPros.
No, you don't want you want it to be able to like link up to your computer, right?
You can do that with a GoPro.
Like in real time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You do it with your phone too.
That's cool.
Yeah, I could monitor you guys from a GoPro and a headset. Oh, this is. Well, my mother was right. I should have gone into to government. Would have been a little bit more exciting. But oh well. Yes, we can totally do that. I'll get it all set up.
It's never
if
too
you
late
get
on
it.
this.
Oh, absolutely not.
Would
Besides, I'm here on a visa. I don't really want to get too entangled in the government.
Well, I mean, if you're looking to transform that visa into anything else, it might make it easier. In fact,
Oh no, absolutely not. No.
it's okay. That's fair.
I'm hoping to go back to England at some point. I miss property.
So many lunches.
You should be able to become a dual citizen.
I'm good. Okay, if you can get it, I can get it all set up, and we'll get this entire thing started.
Very well.
You see, Chihara, the English don't very much like the plucky colonies so much. They visit, but it's not to stay forever.
Elias is just over here, like just gently on his phone, pushing a very certain Broadway song about being back at some point in time.
Perfect. Chiharu nods and says, I understand. We had to give up our Japanese nationality. When actually, no, I still have 2 more years left. My older sisters had to give up theirs at the age of 20. So I understand. Very well. I'm now about to turn invisible. Please do not be alarmed. And boop. Since you just used the key around them in the car to pretty much wrap around themselves in a cocoon of invisibility. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be vulgar, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah. There's no real way to turn invisible in a car, coincidental, that I can think of.
I assume you will use a correspondence and forces effect to do this.
Yes.
It will be vulgar, so it will be difficulty 7.
Okay. What if no one's watching? Have you ever seen the movie Mystery Man?
It does not help, I'm afraid.
Someone needs to show Chiharu Mystery Man after this is over with to help him make it work.
I could turn invisible, but only when no one's watching.
Oh, nice. You said difficulty 7?
7.
2 successes.
That's what my vampire does, right? You can turn invisible only when no one's watching.
That's true.
You will be unseen for the scene.
All right. And that's 1 dot of paradox, which I'll add to this little bracelet. Okay. Very well. This should help. Ready where you all are.
Where are you?
Gianna would gently grab Eric's shoulder.
Jesus, don't do that, man.
I will try my best to make sure not to surprise you.
I guess something else that would have been probably useful to do in the couple hours that we had is scoping the rest of the perimeter of the compound. We know the front. There's a gate and obviously a way in there, but is there a more strategic way of entering the compound that we could have found?
All right. You will have to do that last, just because consequences could potentially happen. Roll me a dexterity and stealth roll to not be noticed.
I mean, you're talking about the invisible guy, right? Like
Oh, is
invisible.
Haru doing this, or is Eric doing
I'm
it?
just throwing out a suggestion of something that we could
can
have
do
done
it.
as a group. Not, I mean, I come up with the ideas, guys. I'm not executing it.
I'm an idea guy.
A big picture, kind of.
I'm a big picture. All right. Yeah, that's no worries. And I presume it gives me 2 free successes, right? From the stealth, from the visible, right?
You will not need to be to stealth against certain opponents, but you do still need to make the roll.
Okay. All right. So, what's the difficulty?
Just 6.
Okay. All right. Oh, nice. Oh, does my will feline reflexes work with this? Okay.
Well,
All right. Perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
5 successes. All right. You are able to go about the grounds undetected. You will need an additional roll if you wish to go beyond the gate itself and into the main compound. As you look around, you do notice there is a small, about the size of a person, kind of crawling sewer drainage that seems to be kind of going out from the estate and in to the kind of, not quite a landfill, but a area that is designed to kind of just dispose things. We just call that kind of like a garbage hole area.
Oh, okay. Also, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to have my aura sight in, so I can be able to verify anyone who is human, not a human, invisible by chance, so forth and so on.
Roll me your R temp, difficulty 4.
Okay.
I would say I'd cover you, but I would have no idea where you are.
Oh, perfect. That's 3 successes.
Use a blanket,
right.
then you'll be able to see where he's at.
Roll me a perception and awareness, and the difficulty will be 5.
All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Cool. Nice. Wish I had 4 dots. Oh, I do. Oh, crap. So when I boost up my specs, it does not give me. It does not turn as. Okay. I keep forgetting about that. Oh, crap. That was. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes again. Would have been 6.
You notice there are a number of different auras around. For you do notice that there are a number of human beings with these kind of pale, splotchy auras. And there are at least 3 that are, let me see what the description for this is. They are very weak, almost faded auras. It takes, even as you're kind of looking at them, they seem to kind of fade in and out. It reminds you a bit of watching people that haven't quite mastered hiding their key quite well, but you catch it in 3 separate areas.
Interesting. And in terms of like the secret hiding spot, was I able to notice like a vantage point to enter, or does it still look like the best entrance way will still be through the front?
You think you could crawl in through this kind of basically garbage chute.
Okay.
You figure you don't see any, although you don't see any auras near it, you figure that crawling through it would require you to go basically single file. You don't know what, you have no idea what's on the other side.
Okay. All right. So yeah, they will return back to the car or SUV or white van, wherever we're in, and relay the information to given, as well as if we do not want to go through the front, the best option would be going through the garbage chute single file.
For Jessica, I'd go through the poop chute.
Do you have the ability to control manipulate the elements by chance?
I do not.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say you could utilize that to keep the smell away.
You know, earplugs you can also use for your nose. Just
Yes,
plug them right in there. It's...
that works too. All right, so I guess Eric and I will be entering the garbage chute. Oliver, Elias, I'm presuming you two will be staying here in the vehicle.
I need
That's an
for
affirmative.
Eric to make me a dexterity and stealth roll. At difficulty 6.
Oh, so we're going then. Cool.
If you are attempting to sneak through the garbage chute, you will need to cross some distance.
I'm not stealthy.
Oh
No. Yeah, I thought we were talking about going together as a group, not me alone.
Oh no, we both were going. I'm with you. I just
no,
already
I
rolled
meant to get like all of us going.
Oh,
I brought Augustus to like stay back and cover, kind of. Dude, that's kind of my sweet spot. You know what I mean?
oh, but well, again, Chihara will be front line. He's just hoping that you can avoid his shoulder or his ribs, but you decide to release that sniper rifle. But yeah, he'll be he'll be taking the front.
I mean, if you want me to go, I can go. I'd leave the rifle here. I still have my pistol on me.
Yeah, because
are you attempting to sneak in through the garbage chute, or are you attempting to go through?
Why not? Let's give it a go.
This
is a terrible idea.
Chiharu is down for the call.
You said difficulty 7?
6.
Even better. 3 out of 3 successes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
As you all are making your way, Chiharu, you are able to get through pretty easily. You do catch these weak auras moving throughout the compound. Eric, you are doing pretty well. You make your way through, but as you are moving, staying close to the ground, you don't notice a small gopher hole, and just as you kind of step in it, you freeze. And just as you do, Chiharu, you catch one of those weak auras freeze and begins to make its way towards Eric. I rolled 4 successes.
Are we in a tunnel, or are we trying to get to the tunnel?
You're making your way across a kind of grassy field towards this around back of the building.
But I don't notice this, right?
No, you do not.
Chiharu will quickly whisper to Eric and says, I think they have taken notice. One is approaching quickly. I would try to neutralize.
I don't know what you want me to do. This is not my thing.
Prepare yourself. And Chiharu,
I have a gun. It is not a stealthy thing that I can do here. I'm just making it clear.
What Chiharu would like to do is being invisible. Is he would like to make his way up to the person who's approaching, trying to find a spot that is at least as
I could be a distraction for you, and you can to get into position.
Yeah, well, he knows he's coming, so he's hoping to fight as he's coming. He wants to get around this individual, and he's going to essentially do a couple of pressure points and stun him to where he can't move.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
You just okay. Here we go. Bring him down, pause him, and then slowly bring him to the bushes to where he's stunned for a good amount of time. Yeah, pressure point strike.
Just pointing out with my stealth roll, I can literally not do better than what I just rolled. Like that is the max, and it failed. I'm just throwing it out there.
That is true. You gave me your all.
I gave him my all.
Chiharu was not disappointed by any means.
All right, so Chiharu is attempting to maneuver out of the way. Eric, I believe you are able to kind of free your leg at this point. It's not fully stuck, but it did kind of make you not hobble, Well, it kind of threw off your stride, we'll say.
Yeah,
Anything else
I
y'all
kind of
wish to do?
tripped.
Mhm.
Do I, now that it's been pointed out to me, can I see the guy coming at us?
No, you don't see anything.
Oh, I don't see anything. Shit. Just keep heading forward then. Like an idiot.
Okay.
But on purpose. To help you.
Yeah.
Save me, Charu.
Yeah. He's pretty much being bait. But yeah, so essentially the second that, Chiharu isn't able to make his way over to the individual before the person can be able to speak, pop, nice couple, Xena the warrior princesses right across the clavicle and, and a couple other locations. So he freezes up and cannot move and talk or anything.
All right, can I have you make me a willpower roll, please?
Wait, me?
Eric.
Me? Oh, shit. Willpower, that sounds important. I used some of that last game. Probably shouldn't have used all that, huh? Good times. So I just roll what I have left, right?
Yes, unspent.
Oh.
Okay. Is there a difficulty or should be shooting for?
6.
2 successes.
What is something that Eric is terrified of?
Something Eric is terrified of. Well, he's probably got a little bit of arachnophobia, as I do.
Luckily, there's no Nazi mages around.
It's a good thing there's no Nazi mages.
No, not Nazi. A Nazi.
A Nazi.
Yeah,
It's
Nazi.
like Nazi mages. Like, that's a very specific fear. I don't think I have it.
This is what happens. As you are attempting to make your way forward, as Chiharu is attempting to lay an ambush, the being gets closer to you, and as you turn, you feel icy cold grip your heart. And for just a moment, the shadows around you seem to lengthen and reach forward towards you with claws and hands. You look down, and the ground beneath your feet seems to erupt with dead and desiccated fingers that seem to be reaching up and pulling you down into the ground. I will offer you a deal, Eric. You can spend a point of willpower to maintain control of yourself just long enough to keep from screaming out in absolute terror. You will, however, have no defenses for what happens next.
You're a monster.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
As you're doing the description, I was just waiting for the spiders to come out. Spend a willpower and don't scream, but then take whatever you had. Or is option B? Do I have an option? Do I have a roll not to scream, or have I already failed?
You will not. If you choose not to spend the willpower, the terror will strike you, and you will scream in fear. But you will get to roll for what happens next.
Are we seeing anything unusual?
But I will get to roll for what happens next.
You will get to roll to defend yourself for what happens next.
Oh, the decisions are so difficult. I know what I would do, but I really don't want to ruin what Chiharu's doing. And I would try to keep my mouth shut for his sake.
Okay.
I'll spend the willpower.
Spend that willpower to instruct the bestial part of your brain to stay quiet. Remind yourself who this is for. Chiharu, you prepare yourself to ambush your target, but what happens momentarily freezes you in place because no person appears. You catch just a brief flash of the this weak aura as it slams into Eric. For just a moment, everything goes quiet. And that is where we are going to take our break for the evening.
Monster, I told you. Monster.
All right, everyone, we will be back in about 15 minutes to continue our story. Okay, all right, so we're sort of back. All right, so it was Chaharu's turn. What would you like to do?
All right. So since I'm aware of this, Chiharu is not even going to go after Eric. He's going to go after the source. So he's essentially going to rush forward and unleash his most deadly kick. The Typhoon kick. Yes, that is it. So yeah, he's going to rush forward. And he just looks at the individual in front and says, "I allowed you one shot. Did not take it. This is on you." And he was going to run forward and provide the Typhoon kick. All right.
Typhoon kick the vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
Here we go. Knocked it down. So this was difficult. 8 normally wins. Knocked down to 7. I'm going to use a point of quintessence. Knock the difficulty down. Actually, 2 points of quintessence. Knock it down. Yeah, a 5. There we go. I am missing one. Okay, I feel like I'm missing one. Nice. Okay. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. 8 successes.
He has so many options. I don't know which one to use.
Oh, you just gonna reverse it? Okay.
Gonna spend some blood.
Spin some blood. Interesting.
I mean, you got it. Now is the time to use it.
Mm-hmm.
He will not go quietly into the night.
I'm out of dice. I'm out of dice. I'm out of real life dice again. So
that's a beautiful thing. Well, that's also quite a bit of success.
6, 10, 11 minus 3. That would be 8 dice to counter. How many did you get?
8. Oh no, 9. Because I'll use a willpower. Make it 9.
We'll also use a willpower.
So now it's his time. So wait. So what happens? What happens with his time?
What ends up happening? I will allow you to make this choice. No, player's choice.
Mm.
So you are both going to go in for an attack, and you will both realize that completing the attack will result in taking damage yourself. So you can either choose to back off from your attack or complete it. It's entirely up to you, Chara.
Oh, definitely complete it.
All right. So I will say the dice rolls will be considered based. There will be no margin, so you only deal strength plus whatever on it.
Okay.
You won't get the additional dice for successes.
Okay. So that would still be 10 damage. Lethal.
You see, so, all right, well, consequences.
Hey, like I said, you warned him. Like Chiharu just like, I gotta protect my friends. Even Eric, who is brainwashed again. We got this. We gotta get you all out of here.
Vampires, unlike human beings, can soak lethal damage.
Oh,
So as you finish your kick, he sacrifices an arm, and you can feel some of the bones break, but the arm is still intact. You, however, will take 5 points of lethal damage purely from potence
oh,
as his other fist slams into the center of your chest.
So my also transitions to bashing. So I would take that as a bashing. From hard in defense.
Call that a Chiharu bashing.
So you said, okay. You said 5? Ooh, okay, all right.
5.
All right, perfect. Okay.
And I believe that will be the end of your turn.
Oh, yeah.
It is now Enzo's turn.
Oh, I thought Enzo just went because he just attacked.
That was defending. No, that was defending. This is a new round. We're at Charo's the top of the round. Then when Chiharu attacked, he can either dodge or just chose to attack instead because he can spend blood points to get an extra action on his turn.
Oh.
During a reactive turn? It's not a reaction. Is not a turn though. It's just a reaction. It's like I'm dodging you. That's interesting.
I know. I'm away. It's very similar to what werewolves can do.
Oh,
interesting.
Okay.
It's okay. It's the price. It's the price you pay for phenomenal cosmic power, Char.
No worries.
Space. The question is, what does Enzo want to accomplish?
Probably a good question.
What is your current willpower, Chiharu?
4.
You guys really need more willpower.
The maximum you can have is 10.
You need all of the willpower.
It's true. It's true. Willpower is super important. I didn't I mean, I knew stamina was important, but I don't know. I kind of sidelined it for some reason.
Yeah, stamina, because you start with 5.
Well, for the rituals, which, I would have. I mean, yeah. Anyway, extended rituals.
Can you increase willpower after character creation?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, this is what we could do. He's going to use dominate again.
Oh, okay. So we have.
Can he dominate? Like, there's no limitation on that too, right? Like he can individually dominate as many people as he wants over and over again. Like, so what would break the dominate?
There's counter spell for that, I believe. Isn't there a counter spell?
You can put mental defenses in place, but I don't think anyone did that before.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Do a little pregame.
That's what I read in the Mage 20 book. There's for vampire skills like that, there's the ability to perform a counter spell attack. I mean, go keep going, but yeah.
Let me double check this. I don't think there is a section on vampires and mind control, but I don't believe you get any additional defenses. But let me double check. No.
I think alleged some ways you could try to. I guess you could try to use prime magic, and I don't know if it would be I don't know if it would be in response, like to maybe disrupt the vampire's quintessence, making it harder for them to achieve that effect. I don't know if this would work as a reaction or if this would be like something as a preventative measure, because I know the life magic thing, or I guess maybe with mind magic, if you're setting up a mental barrier, I think the mental barrier would be kind of also like pre-gaming. I don't know if they're already doing it. If you try to throw one up in response, if it would be useful, or correspondence.
Oh, here we go.
But correspondence would be for getting rid of that link. So that would be something Elias could do.
All right. So it'll be, I will say, okay. So I'm going to say the difficulty. All right. Well, the difficulty is current characters willpower. Okay. All right. So with the new willpower calculations, 1, 2, 4, 6 minus 3 successes.
What's up?
So there's a slightly different calculation for you all as mages than the base willpower. So with the new calculation, it's 7, 6, 3, 6. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 2, 4. So 6 minus 3. So 3 successes only.
Oh, okay. Wait, what do I need to do?
Roll me your willpower, because this command is technically against your nature.
Okay.
And the difficulty will be 8. You need 3 successes. Because technically this is against your nature.
All right. And I can use quintessence, right?
No, this is just a willpower roll.
Oh, just willpower roll? Okay.
Mm.
And is it the full pool or just how much I have left remaining?
Unspent.
Spent? Okay. Is it difficulty 8? Bleak.
Yep,
Okay.
correct.
So I got 9, and a 7. What was the difficulty?
8.
Okay. Wait, 8? Oh, there's no way I could beat it. Oh, no. It was 8, 0, 9, 9, and 7. That's 3 successes.
All right. He orders you eliminate that one, and he points to Elias, and you feel your body snap into place, but there's a part of you, that part that has guided you for as long as you can remember, rebels against the command, and you feel it snap off of you, and you are back in control of yourself.
That's what you did. Also, no recording, but you can also record via Streamlabs. I was going to mention that the quality might be better.
Yeah, I can't open Streamlabs anymore.
Oh wow. Okay, sorry, never mind.
I don't understand why you all have invaded my home, but it appears I am in need of better employees.
You have something that does not belong to you.
You're after this necklace.
He looks towards Eric and then back at the individual. If you give that to us, we will leave.
Tell your friends to stop fighting.
Well, you seem to be in control of one of them.
He snaps his fingers, and Eric, you find yourself back in control of your body.
Okay, I was about to say, like, I'm still gonna kill that guy because you told me to.
Well, we have a deal.
Put down your arms. I feel there could be some sort of agreement made here.
Kind of attached to my body, but
Chiharu just smirks and then looks towards Eric.
I look at the glowing ball in the staff. I'm like, no.
Smeagol over here, I swear.
stick the ball in my pocket.
I have some work I could use completing, and at the moment, it doesn't look like things are going too far in your advantage. Could let you all leave with your lives. You agree to do me a favor when the time comes.
But we're leaving with that locket.
For the right price, something like that could be arranged. You all aren't exactly in the position to negotiate.
Yaru Sports says, agree to disagree. Let's just say we can leave on equal terms. We go our
Daniel,
Mhm.
you're strong, but are the other two? You think they'd survive long enough? Would it be worth it if they died and you managed to beat me? Are you sure that one will side with you if I destroy the locket? I've seen people like him. They tend to choose their loved ones over their friends when it comes down to it. Weakness of mortals. I am curious as to where you got that fire from. And
Oh,
unlike
this
you,
old
I
thing.
don't particularly care about the other people in this room. But you all seem to care about each other.
Yes, yes. Please do. Please do. Go over.
I clearly don't know what's going on.
Elias may be doing a very beautiful thing at the moment, but I'll speak to
Elias is certainly considering.
Chiharu smirks because she now knows the location of these vampires and easily could get the Garou just to wipe out this little location. But he does know that his friends are here, and as much as he's upset with Eric's choices so far, he does not want to see him die because of it. So Chiharu will look towards Enzo and says, "We are all together, but we are also our own separate individuals. We cannot speak for one another. We cannot say that we will all agree to this favor. It has to be for everyone's choice."
As I said, it's up to you. I get what I want either way. Whether you serve me as living beings or the dead makes no difference. It requires just an extra step.
Very funny. Elias, he kind of makes his way over to the rest of the group. It says, "How do you wish to proceed?" I honestly could not give the care of this individual and just clearly leave, but I do not wish anything to befall negatively to their locket, because it will upset Eric. So,
Would destroying the locket really be a problem if it's supposedly tying or controlling, his wife's spirit? Wouldn't destroying it be potentially a good thing? Oliver doesn't know.
Do you want to find out?
Would Eric know?
I have no idea if
I'm wondering if
I would
you
assume if it's destroyed, then the connection's broken.
With one dot of occult, you aren't too sure.
Yeah, no idea.
Even with his super spirit staff, he couldn't have gleaned any. His brief stint of phenomenal cosmic power didn't offer him any insights.
before he got mind control.
Yeah, it was not helpful.
Do you wish to ask the staff for more assistance?
No, not really.
Eric, you disappoint me. Whispers the staff.
Elias, I will start with you first. I know that this was one of the last things you wished to participate in. How do you feel regarding this?
One favor shouldn't hurt.
Oliver?
Besides, if
Okay.
no, just thinking about a couple of things.
Mm-hmm. Oliver?
Well, the creature may be able to destroy the locket, but it's obviously bluffing about having an upper hand, or it wouldn't be offering this conversation right now. It's worried for its own well-being.
Oh, I have very little concern over this individual. I 100% believed if I needed to, I could eliminate this individual. But he does have something precious, and I don't wish to overstep if things.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty certain.
Can I have everyone make me a willpower roll? At difficulty 8.
All right. We go.
One success.
Can I use any correspondence or mind to help me? Damn it.
You could use a mind 1 effect to attempt to protect your mind.
Okay. Yeah, I
Oh,
will.
yeah? Could I?
What do I roll first?
Okay. Roll your
Alright,
array.
difficulty 4.
3 successes.
Let's see here.
Wait, what's going on?
If
Using
you have
mind
mind
1.
1, you can help yourself.
I'm going to spend a point of willpower as well for that.
So how many successes did you get on the initial willpower roll?
Oh, I haven't rolled that yet. Hold on.
3 for me.
2.
All right, so you can add the will. You can add the art and the mind 1 successes to
sake,
that.
man.
So it'll be
Okay.
5.
Be 5.
For fuck's sake.
How many did you say you got, Jaharu? 2?
3.
3. All right,
Oh,
then
wait,
Eric
do I?
got
Wait,
1.
wait a second. I think I have something in my martial art.
So I got 2 total successes, including the willpower.
Okay.
And no luck. So many fucking 1s tonight.
Crap, I one dose.
I hate you, roll 20.
All right. All right. Has everyone finished their roll? Okay. As you feel a wave of pure and utter terror wash over you. It feels as if an icy hand has taken grip of your heart and is slowly squeezing. The amount of successes you have are the amount of turns you can act in opposition to this vampire.
Oh, really?
For as long as the effect lasts. Yeah. So some of you have quite a few turns, actually.
All right. Let's see.
This offer won't last forever. You all have a minute to consider. Or I will make the choice for you.
Chiharu kind of looks at his friends. It says, well, how do y'all wish to proceed?
Well, if he would have let us finish, he would have known that I didn't have an issue with it.
He's just trying to front. Oliver?
Eric, we're here for you.
I'm
What do you want to do?
I'm just gonna go with whatever the group consensus is at this point. There's things I'd want to do, but I would never do to you guys, OOC. So
I'm sure you're like, oh God, I hate it when dates act like this. What do you want to do?
Chiharu looks towards Enzo and says, I would do it depending upon what the favor is. As long as it does not cross my belief, I can participate.
There are a few people I want eliminated. You all aren't officially connected to me, which means any consequences for their deaths won't be directly traceable back to myself. If you do a good enough job, I may be willing to discuss giving you this locket.
Who are these individuals?
People in the community.
Vampires like yourself?
Problems. No.
What are they?
People. One is a police officer that's been asking too many questions. One's an activist that's been bothering a business associates of mine. It shouldn't be difficult for someone with your abilities to kill them.
So you're asking for us to kill innocent people?
I don't care for innocence or guilt. They're in my way, and I don't want them to be. You can justify it however you like. I'm sure they've all done something bad at some point.
Chiharu looks towards Eric and says, Eric, you have been a great friend of mine, and I hold many of the things that we done there together. But I would not kill innocent people on your behalf. And he steps into the gauntlet. Or he turns, well, yeah, he steps into the gauntlet. He's out. He's not dealing with he's like, no. I ain't got time for this madness. He's gone.
Could have done another dragon kick, but that's one way.
Oh no, he may come back with a dragon kick, but he's paying attention.
Flies out of the gauntlet. Ha ha!
Oh, yep. Just in case. He's watching. But he's taking it because vampires can't go into the gauntlet, so.
motherfucker stole my move.
Pretty sure I have to roll, but yeah, I'll go into the gauntlet.
Do you have to roll to
You
get into the
do.
gauntlet?
You do. The gauntlet is very thin here, so the difficulty will be 4, but you do have to, and it's vulgar. It is very vulgar magic.
Well,
Thankfully, no one here counts as witnesses.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Usually,
3
vampires
successes.
aren't
don't
people.
think crossing the gauntlet is crossing the gauntlet always vulgar.
No. That's a good question, actually. It's not always vulgar with witnesses, but I'm curious if it's always vulgar. Let me check.
I think it's all you look it up for me, but I think it's always vulgar because you're ripping a hole in reality. But so your companion is attempting to leave you. How many successes did you get?
Oh, 3.
Yeah, your companion is attempting to leave the rest of you behind.
You know.
While I still have my faculties and Spirit 4, can I grab Elias and Oliver and pull us all into the gauntlet?
Oh,
You
wait.
would need to,
I can move with people.
Yeah.
I can move large with groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna rip a hole in the gauntlet and step through. You would need to borrow the power of the staff once again.
Still holding it.
But it's doable. All right, now I know ripping a hole in the gauntlet is definitely vulgar. I don't think it's vulgar with witnesses.
The staff by itself is vulgar. I mean, you said balefire comes from the top of it. Like,
So, roll me 6 dice for your arte. The difficulty for this effect, well, the gauntlet is actually 4 here, so it's only 4. But yeah, that's it.
6 with a difficulty of 4. 8, 8, 8, 8. 3 and 2. So it's 4 successes.
All right, it is very it is vulgar, so you do gain some paradox, but you are able to rip a hole through the gauntlet. If you wish to take people with you, you can certainly do so.
I say, no deal. They grab them both, and I rip into a hole into the gauntlet, pulling them in, following Jaharu.
I do quite protest to being.
Well,
I say, what's the meaning of this?
hey, there's for Roll20, is there an extra wheel I could use? You know how like Roll20 has the paradox, the quintessence wheel? Is there like a second one I could pull off for my
no. Why would you need a second one?
for the wonder that you gave me?
What have you done? Oh, no. Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, I was
there's
like,
no second.
there's no way for me to indicate that I'm putting all of these in the wonder. So I'm like, well, how am I going to?
No,
Okay,
unfortunately, you just have to do that separately.
Okay, gotcha.
You all step into the world of the dead.
God, not this place again.
We should be safe for now.
So back home to plot.
Eric, this bracelet, this item, this is. I understand the desire, and you seem to have gone through, excuse the pun, hellfire and brimstone to attempt to attain this. But we really need to set some guidelines on how far we wish to go to obtain this item. He now knows what we're after, which means it's going to be extra protected.
I think we should do some study on it. Yes, find out if it's really necessary to obtain it intact, or if perhaps the destruction of it might have a similar effect to what you're looking to achieve. Then you don't have to worry about making any deals with the devil. You can simply destroy him.
I'm okay with that.
Well,
And then I also need to find out what this thing is and hold this like energy ball.
Good lord.
I believe that is one of the fabled Dragon Balls.
How many more do I have to collect?
oh, so this staff must remain at a place isolated. I wish to obtain assistance in this endeavor, but that staff contrasts heavily against everything that the kind that would be asking assistance for stands for. So you must find a way. This is already pushing the guidelines of what is supposed to be acceptable.
Acceptable to who?
To the guru. This is Bellfire you're channeling here. The same Bellfire that attempted to eliminate our home. The same Bellfire that was controlling the werewolves that infiltrated our compound. Asking for assistance while you possessing this item, they will perhaps rip you to shreds first. And so it counterbalances the idea of what we could be able to do.
What was this old saying? Snitches get something again.
I smell the worm. If I can smell it.
Do you smell what the worm is cooking?
If I can. Damn Damn it, Quinn. Sorry, damn it, Michael. Why? You know the Rockets were my favorite people, so you had to toss that in there. The
Sure,
thing
we
is,
can come to an accord and keep this someplace safe until it's needed.
Indeed. Well, we at least now know a bit more what we're up against. Now we just have to plan better for our next infiltration. Should we go back entirely to the Cabal, or attempt to regroup back in LA?
I mean, I personally would like to sleep in my own bed and not a hotel room.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Can I have everyone make me a perception and alertness roll?
Oh, no.
God damn it.
That's always. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Difficulty.
6.
I have a great perception and alertness. It's the
That fell on the
best.
floor. That's
Two
floor dice.
successes.
It's 6, 2 successes.
6.
Oh, floor dice.
Pearl, you feel it almost, you feel the gauntlet move. And as you instinctively turn to search out this disturbance, you all catch sight of a doorway opening. And a figure steps through. A figure of a man in a very nice looking suit. And they look around, and Eric, your attention is drawn to the figure behind him in these covered in spectral black and blue chains of energy. You find a woman you care for deeply. The rest of you see Enzo stepping across the gauntlet
This
into the
fucking guy.
Shadowlands.
Vampires can't enter the What?
I don't
That's
know.
never been true. That has
What?
literally never been
It's
true.
really
It has
difficult.
never
for
been
them
true.
to.
Can
Just
we
to be
please-
clear, vampires can enter the Shadowlands in V5. They can still do this.
It's just hard.
Can we please go back to the chantry now?
Yes.
Yes. Boop. I guess we press in our little button and teleport back. Wait. What? What do you want? I guess we're doing a little device for our one-way trip to the chantry.
Oliver pulls out a scroll. By royal decree of the chantry.
That's just like with this
You
spell.
activate your abilities and you flee back to the chantry.
I feel like Elias
You
just has his
change.
phone in his one hand and just like flips him the
No
V as he's
signal, shit.
disappearing.
You each catch sight of Eric's fiance looking both a mixture of sorrow and fear as you wink out. And I think that is where we will end our vampire story for the evening.
Vampire story, Ree. We
Well,
playing the
it
wrong
might as
game.
well. It might as well have been a
No,
vampire
this
story.
this
Enzo
is
pretty
the
much
wrong
ran
game.
everything for the entire session, to be honest. But that is the end of our tower episode tonight. It was a bit longer than normal, so I do apologize for that. But we have finished, and I'll go ahead and let everyone kind of reintroduce themselves really quickly. We'll go with Sir Monolith to start.
Yes, I'm Sir Monolith at Sir Monolith on Twitter. Right now, this is pretty much where I'm active. So keep an eye out for here to hear anything new.
All right, next up, Kira.
Hi, I'm Kara 858. Once again, this will be the blast. I'm not sure exactly when this is going up on YouTube, but if this is before San Diego Comic Con, and if you all are coming to San Diego Comic Con, be sure to find me. I will be out walking the floor, checking out booths, enjoying the sights. As well as you can see behind my background, I've been working hardcore into our upcoming comic book company called Snowstorm Comics, where our first comic should be debuting sometime in either September or October timeframe. So we're super excited about that. We keep an eye out on that on our Twitter page at TheKara858. Also for TTRPG content, like I said, you can definitely find us at TheKara858 on Twitch as well as YouTube to cook out TTRPGs. And there may be, okay, I'll just be honest, it's not maybe. There's for certain going to be a new campaign coming out in the near future, specifically in October. So we'll just keep an eye out for more information for that. Because there may be some recognizable faces that you see there. And that's me.
All right, next up, Quinn.
Hey, my name's Quinn. You guys can find me on the Twitters at QSellers or the Mercenary Storyteller. It's late, and I feel like my mind is also exhausted after tonight's game. But I'm clearly just here for the ride for Ree's vampire game. I thought we were playing Mage, but you know,
Might as well have been the vampire game. Might as well.
Anyway.
All right, last and certainly not least, Ari.
Just saying, if this was Ree's vampire game, I would be playing a Giovanni Caitiff, and it would be a lot better. we could have used a relative card. Anyhow, I'm Ari. You can find me on Twitter at Small Shadow Snack, which is just a possum imposium at this point. I'm also a storyteller and producer and editor over on the Gremlin Collective, as well as popping up occasionally over on Kira's channel. So go check out the Cookout TTRPG on YouTube for Rivenwood and Reclamation. A lot of fun. But that's all I got.
All right. And with that, our Mage story has ended. I thank you all for watching and hope you come back and join us next time as we continue to see just what consequences lay in wait for our cabal. All right.